Good morning. We are coming to you live from CPS, and today we bring you a exclusive interview with Dr. Kishor Pillai, our principal. Good morning, sir. We are a team of science journalists, and it gives us great pleasure today to speak to you. We would like to know some questions about yourself, your vision, and your experience pertaining in science in school. We would like to know more about Crown Director Principal. Could you tell us more?
Good morning. Thank you for having me here, and it's a pleasure to have me back in our Crown interview session with you. So thank you for also bringing Science Week live through Facebook, and which is what I wanted to live science with this Science Week through variety of things that science can offer. So thank you for that.
We know you hold a doctorate in physics with 22 years experience in a senior leadership role. So, according to you, do you think science has any impact on the educational process?
Yes, absolutely, Asha. I think science and technology has brought major changes in educational sector. Right now, because of COVID, you were online, right? And then that's what science brought the classes at home. And now, doing homework or finding any content is not a very distinct thing. It's not a very difficult thing for you to do. It's very, very clear now that homework can be done very easily, either through online method or various tools that are now available. And then you can also research a lot of content without your teacher telling you about the concepts. And that's what science has brought. It has brought easy access to learning. It has brought research more closer to you. It has brought creativity on the floor. And it has also rekindled the art of imagination. Like science can be imagined much better with the use of technology, right? So I feel use of science and technology goes hand in hand to create a better learning atmosphere. So it's developing understanding, it's making you ask good questions. See how nicely you're asking me some questions. So it's science that's making you think creatively, critically, and all of that. And definitely don't forget, science teaches you also to problem solve. So what you solve problems in your class helps you to solve problems in real life, right?
What is the school's plan to develop students' STEM skills to integrate different science fields together?
Yeah, fantastic question. I have a lot of ideas, but then I try to implement them one by one. STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, it's tough to have everything covered for a child, but through different programs that we integrate. One is the robotics, okay, where you build models, where you have a lot of items and projects that you do related to robotics. But just robotics is not the way we deal with STEM. We also take these STEM concepts into classrooms. Like I think when you learn science, you're learning through making some creative models in class, and you're learning a concept, then you're building on it, and then you're making models. And that model is like a solution to the problem. So I think the problem solving skills that I was talking about earlier is brought into the class through technical thinking. So now you are not only having the technical know-how, but you're also trying to problem solve through that, and you're also building models through the whole process. So I think you're thinking creatively, again you're collaborating with your friends, you are communicating your solution. So I think the 21st century skills are well met, the 4 C's. So that is creativity, collaboration, communication, and critical thinking. So that's how we think STEM is the most important thing. And I think through the robotics program, the aero modeling and all of those concepts that we do through our Sheikh Rashid Innovation Lab that we have is one of the best things that students use for STEM education.
How do you envision the future of Crown standing as an example for sustainability?
That's a fantastic question again, because sustainability is another major topic that's going on around the world. And I think as a country, UAE is also looking into sustainability big time. So from our perspective, what we are trying to do, a little bit of contribution, is basically have our solar panels. So we are going to soon have solar panels. So a bit of electricity we are going to generate from the solar panels. So that's going to contribute to nature, to the environment. And then we are going to recycle some water, okay, through which we are going to have our garden that we are going to maintain. So we are going to have a vegetative garden in the future, and we are going to grow some nice vegetables here. So vegetables in the desert. So so we're going to do that, and then use those vegetables to do something in the canteen. So we'll have some fresh veggies sold in the canteen as well. So that's one of the ways. So we're recycling water, we're going to conserve electricity. Then also there's a program that the students are working on in the higher grades, that's to generate water from the atmosphere. That's through oxygen. So converting oxygen to water. So that's something that's going on as an ongoing project for the higher graders. Let's hope they are successful. And many other projects of sustainability, which is recycling project that our children do it from years from now. But we're also going into recycling of waste now, next year. So composting. And this composting, which is like a manure, we're going to use it in our vegetative garden. Fantastic, isn't it? So you'll have the manure for the plants, and the plants grow, and the plants give vegetables and fruits, and these come into canteen, and that helps my students to eat. So we are becoming more and more sustainable. Yeah?
What is the message Crown follows to prepare a new generation of students who apply scientific methods in real-life applications?
Yeah, just like what I told you right now, sustainability is one of the real-life applications. So we've learned in books that we got to be sustainable, we got to conserve the environment, we got to look into ways where we recycle. So I think all of those solutions are now found through the sustainability project that we have. We have a theme that runs in the school which is called as Eco Venture, which is environmental projects. So that's related to sustainability. So that's the way I think we're teaching real life applications to students. Other than that, the problem solving skills. We have a certain project where there is a session on full school that we run for problem solving. So we give them problems of this generation and tell them that find solutions. So we can have various solutions to real life problems. So with all of this, I think we're trying to inculcate problem solving skills through science education, I think.
In your experience, please share a few moments where you felt that you had actively contributed to school or student development using science.
Actually, in Crown School, we've done much more because this is a country which is very, very different from the countries I've worked before. So, to find something innovative in this country is challenging, and I think with the ruler's initiative of bringing innovation to the forefront pushes every school to do something different. So I think all the teachers are pushed to think innovatively, and they've come up with innovative solutions, and thus innovation goes into the classroom, and the students bring the best in innovation from themselves also. So we find good solutions in municipality. We have our Crown students have given our model to the Ajman municipality for prevention from flood waters. So if there is heavy rainfall and if the streets get flooded, how we can get rid of the water on streets so that the vehicular flow is not disrupted. So this is some real life application, and the model was presented to the Ajman municipality. Then we also had a lot of sustainable village concept. So when people living in desert, they live in communities, and then there was a model desert city made there where everything remains the same, but the energy is harnessed, and then the water is recycled and used again, and then the whole project was presented, and it is at the Ajman X, which is the innovation center for Ajman. So all made by Crown students. So I think we are finding the real life examples very interesting, and all these models are kept at the best places in Ajman. So I think Crown students can be really proud of what's happening.
Wow, that sounds amazing.
What, according to you, has been the one area in science which has been ignored by most of the schools all around the world, which need to be looked into a priority basis?
The priority basis science solution. I think every country is doing their bit, Aisha, and I think they haven't been ignored, but maybe not. They have not been given priority. So it's a good question that you're asking, because I think we are now going to the next step after sustainability into artificial intelligence and coding. Okay, so I think that's an area which many countries are not getting that education into the school sector, but I feel in the times to come you will see coding being taught in schools, which will help a lot of programs being developed by students, and small things can be managed by the artificial intelligence in schools itself. So I think that's the future of science in schools. So coding and artificial intelligence, yes.
Events like Science Week is very important in a school. What is your take on Science Week at CPS?
I'm looking forward to the Science Week at CPS. Every year it just gets more exciting. So if you see this week, this Science Week this year, it's full of exciting, creative projects which are live models, and I think real world problem solving skills that is seen there in the projects. So I think also through various kind of science and technology debates that are being held, and the week which consists of such interviews that you all are bringing to students. So I think it's very innovative, and we really look forward. And myself, I always look forward to events like this, because I think this brings out the best streak in the child for science, and this is the best way to get it out.
One last question. You have been all around the world and have come across thousands of schools and leaders. Can you give us an example of one of the schools which left you in awe with their science and innovation?
Yeah, I remember, Aisha, when I was in the Green School, Bali. Okay, so Indonesia has this school called as Green School, and I was left in awe of this school, because it's a school that you feel you're like in jungle, but then this school has everything on the top of the hill. It becomes very difficult to go up there, because when you're up there, you need everything fed for yourself. I mean, right from food to water to transportation to electricity to the classrooms, everything has to be built with natural materials. So it's like the project that took place was first plantation of bamboo trees. Okay, so the bamboo trees, the bamboo wood was used to make classrooms. So their classrooms, they don't have any walls. So the whole school is made up of classrooms made from bamboo trees. Okay, so that's different. And then they needed air condition, because Indonesia in some months become very hot, and because they're on top of the hill, it becomes difficult for them. So they needed energy. Now, where do they get this energy from? So they had this waterfall in that area. So what they did is they harnessed this energy. So they took this water and created, through the turbines, they created energy. So they created energy through solar and water. And then that energy was used in the classrooms. Alright? And then came problem, what about food? Now it's such a huge school, it's like the whole of Ajman city is up there. Okay? They cultivated crops. So students, they learn and part of their time goes in cultivation. So they cultivate their own crops. They have rice, wheat, bajra, vegetables, fruits, everything grown there. Hectares of land. Okay? The same food is then cultivated and then they come back to the kitchen of the school. And the same kitchen cooks the food. So they have rice, vegetables, everything grown there. And then the cooking happens in the canteen. Food is served to the children through the canteen because you can't get food up there. You have to have everything there. And then another important thing that they did is one biodiesel project, which is something that is very close to my heart, and I want perhaps my Crown students to do it one day. So it's like they create biodiesel. Now why biodiesel is used? For school buses. So they have buses that takes these students from the school to a residential area where the students stay. So these buses also run on fuel which is created by students. So they have biodiesel which is created from cooking oil. So the oil that is used to make food, the remainder after cooking, whatever oil is left out, is used to make fuel. And that fuel is used for the buses. And the waste that is generated after the fuel, whatever is left out, they make soaps and perfumes with that. And those soap and perfumes is used in the washrooms. You can just see the best example of sustainability there. Everything in-house. That was my whole project. So that's Green School Bali. You know, you should really have a look at that school. It's there online. You can see it, and you can really be happy about what the Green School has to offer. Perhaps one day, inshallah, let's see, we'll get something similar to Green School in Ajman.
Wow. Wow, excellent idea.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. KP, for your time and sharing your viewpoints with us. We shall take all this back with us and look forward to having more successful years with you as our leader.
It's a pleasure to be with you all, and always a pleasure to listen to you. And I'm very, very thankful once again to all of you. And thank you to your teachers who's trained you well, and also you guys who have put in a lot of effort to come and talk to me. No one talks to me. But yes, I think I love my students, and the way you are being nurtured is the best example of how teachers take care at Crown Private School. All the best to you, and all the best to you guys who are listening to me. Thank you.